Hey planner friends, how's it going? Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. My name is Ryan and this is A Man with the Plans, and we are back to do my June budget. That's what it says, so that's what we're doing. And you notice that there's a lot of plaid and we're using a different kit this week. The folks at JT Creations, they have their Etsy shop. I'll leave a link to their channel. I'll leave a link to their shop down below. They reached out and said that they had developed some really fun and functional budget kits and other stuff and asked if I'd take a look. And so I said, sure. These looked great, really fun, so they were able to send these over to me. Thank you so much for doing that, I appreciate it. So I figured today, before we dive into the actual budget, before we actually dive into the budget itself, I figured I'd walk through the kit. I'm gonna tell you right now that they sent me a ton of stuff, and I believe there's also some weekly kits in here. But you know me, I can't ever like follow directions. So, you know, you've got this sheet first of all, which has a ton of stuff on it. It's got those little lines there that I usually use for the Erin note boxes, gold, and a bunch of other check-in ones. You've got some fun washi strips here with this fun other like diamond pattern. I feel like I have a lot of like golf vibes from this. And then here are some of the headers. Obviously I had already used the word June, so June budget, I kind of mixed them together and I kind of like how that looks. Because part of this I believe was also a monthly kit is what I did, yeah. So this over here has all the paydays and got the paychecks. And then one thing I really like, which I'm always looking for, is the no spends. And it has the check boxes there. And I also love that, let me turn this for you. It's got the word savings over here. Those might be fun to track, sort of how much you save every single week. Really, really cool. The next thing here is a weekly sampler kit, which I think is so cute, and I think that you can get a lot of use out of this, right? So you've got a big box here, which would do the notes, and you've got these fun little check boxes, which I think are so cute. And then you've got this fun sort of like washi strip over here, and then you've got some half boxes and some appointment boxes and quarter boxes, all sorts of good stuff. The next piece here is obviously for a monthly kit, which I took the one sidebar from, and it's got all of the headers across the top. It's got the date headers and the day of the week covers, and you've got to do, day off, remember, to buy, all in like a fun corresponding color scheme. And then also, I was also sent a transaction log and a weekly check-in, so I'm sure this is for all the budget pages. Since I do my transaction log in my calendar, I figured I don't really need to do this, although this might be fun covering up part of June, so I could probably like combo these together. I don't know, I Frankenstein everything, but I like the weekly check-in thing so you can kind of keep track of all your spendings from week 1 and week 2, and it has the categories down here, so you can get really granular in how you manage your budget. And then last thing is a bunch of ombre check boxes. I'm gonna just say, I know this might upset a few people, I love that there are no hearts on these. I swear, I love a good check box like this, but they're always hearts or something that I'm just not really feeling, so I really enjoyed playing with this kit. I know I didn't follow the directions, but hey, it's so we're gonna do. Here's my budget. We've got the income, followed by the fixed expenses, followed by the variable expenses. Then we'll do the grand total over here. Then we've got a debt tracker. I only have 2 debts left. And then the last thing we'll do is also the sinking funds. That should about wrap up our video. So without further ado, let's flip over and I will zoom you guys in a little bit and we will just get rocking and rolling here. So June budget. Okay, I love the plaid. It's like very Father's Day. But yeah, so I'm just using the Erin Condren dual tip markers here. I really love these in there. I will say the other thing I'm using, I didn't mention, is it's the deluxe monthly planner from Erin Condren. I think by the time this video goes live, they'll have launched the new ones, so I'll be doing a little review on that. You can probably see that. I'll leave it linked over there if you're curious. But let's go ahead and dive in. I'm gonna write all the information and we'll sort of talk through it. My budgeted amount here, I've estimated, I used to do like $18.30, but it seems like my paychecks are really around $18.60. They've sort of leveled off. So I'm gonna go ahead and estimate that. I do have a full-time job, that's what that's for. And then transfer, for those of you that are new here, my parents made an agreement with me to pay for part of my student loans. So that's their contribution to help move that along. It just sort of helps me move the snowball a little bit faster, and anything else that I move on is gravy. The next thing is my side hustle, which I work for a friend of mine with her online business. And so I'm gonna estimate $650 for that. When you total all of that up, which I've already did, My budgeted total income for the month of June is $4,670. So not too shabby. I do miss that third paycheck from May though, right? Isn't that nice? That's perfect though. I think that's gonna be really helpful. And as you see, we'll sort of tighten up the expenses as we go. So the next thing here is fixed expenses. So obviously these are the expenses that don't change from month to month, or if they do, it's gonna sort of set me off guard. I do like that they have the actual, because sometimes something might go wrong with rent or you pay ahead. I don't ever think I'd pay ahead in rent, but you never know. So I like that there's the actual column. It just keeps the rest of the spread cohesive. So for rent, this is pretty standard for me, $14.87. And then for internet, I use CenturyLink, and that is $64.95. The next thing is my sinking fund. Now I have a Capital One 360 account, and I use that because it is an interest-bearing account, so I usually get a couple of cents every month extra, which is always nice. It's having the money work for you while it sits there. And the way that I've set up my sinking funds, I have a full video on it. I'll leave that linked up over in the card too. Really is all about how you sort of prepay for expenses along the way, right? So I'll go ahead and put, if I have a $200 expense in July, I'll put the money aside a little bit each month, and then I won't feel the sting so much as we move along. So those are fun if you're trying to figure out how to pay for stuff like your car registration, your car tabs, your car insurance, if it's on an annual or semi-annual basis, all sorts of other expenses, Christmas, travel, those types of things are really helpful. The next thing I also include my fixed expenses are my minimum payments. So my car minimum payment right now is $600. The minimum payment according to the loan I signed is $347, but the minimum I've set up for myself is $600, non-negotiable, no matter what. The next thing here, my final debt, is my student loan, and that number is currently $461.35. It's on the graduated plan, so at some point it will move along. What I realized here is that there isn't a total expenses for fixed, but I'll just put that down here, $2,793. That's the bulk of my expenses, right? Obviously my house and all the other required payments that I have. Now that that's all said and done, let's move the budget down. The magic of TV. We can go ahead then and do my variable expenses. Now these are the ones that tend to fluctuate every single month. Some people choose to use cash envelopes. I am not somebody that loves to carry cash on me, and so I've never really been successful at trying it. Let me know if it works for you, and maybe I'll give it a go one of these days, but for now, and like, I don't know if I mentioned this, but you've got the budget here, so that's for the budget amount, then you have the actual yearly spent, and then the column that I love to look at the most is your differential, your plus minus. Did you go over, are you under, and by how much? I find that so interesting, and again, as you can see from my other budget videos, I'll put my April report card up there. Sometimes some of these numbers can be all over the place. So anyway, let's go ahead and do the variable expenses. So for gas, I'm gonna estimate $100. I've been trying to go out more. Oh my goodness, there's like something really wrong with this marker. But I've been trying to go for hikes more, and obviously that costs a little bit more gas. But you know what, we're just gonna budget that. Summer road trips, those types of things. The next thing here I have is groceries, and I'm gonna guesstimate that at $250. Followed by restaurant. This has been a difficult category for me in the past. Go ahead and put that at a solid $100. Next we have my personal spending, which I put at $150. This includes stuff like haircut, but I also have to go get myself a new pair of dress shoes, so that goes in there as well. That's why that number is up. The next thing I have on here is my YouTube, and this is for stuff like sticker kits like this one, or other things like that. $75. Usually I tend to be under in this, but also I have some other things that I schedule in here or pay for on a monthly basis, so those get included. And then the next thing I have is UMS, that's my utilities management system, and that has been going down, thankfully. It's always been pretty reasonable, and that's at $40. And then the last thing I have on here is my Excel energy bill, which has thankfully started to go down as well, and that's at $65. So when you total all of my expenses up for my variable expenses, they come to $780. When you add up both my variable and my fixed expenses, you get, and we'll go back to the red marker for dramatic effect here, the total for these all added up is $3,573.20. So that's my budget, and let's see what happens with the actual. All right, so that's gonna wrap up my section over here. I'm gonna turn you guys over, because look, we've got the grand totals here, and this is where all of the fun's gonna happen, right? So let's walk through these really quickly. We've got I sort of made this up myself. I think I probably would have spaced this out a little bit differently on the other side, but I'll know that for next time. Let's go ahead though. We know my total income budgeted is going to be $4,670. We know that my fixed expenses are going to be, and these are all from earlier, $2,793.20. We know that my variable expenses are going to be $780. And so my grand total, if you add up this minus this, will give you sort of what's left for us to work with for the month. And what should be left over, hopefully, if I do this right, $1,096.80. Pretty neat stuff. I'd really love to be able to put that plus the $600 minimums that are included. That'd be a $1,600 payment to my car. How awesome would that be? I don't know. I'm excited. And obviously, looking down here, we've got the debt tracker. Now, let me just talk through this a little bit. As you can see here, and I also didn't put lines here because I'm a slacker. I'm not going to fill in my car here, just because it's the end of a longer month with an extra paycheck, so you never know when we might make some extra payments to move stuff along. But the thing I love about this is you have the starting balance column, so you add that in there. You have your minimum payments, which I can go ahead in right now and actually put in. Right, so we said that this one is $600, and this one is $461.35. We know that you're not going to put an extra payment towards this because I'm going on the snowball method, not the avalanche. But we'll leave the extra payment line in the ending balance for up top. So I just love the way that that looks, and I like that it's sitting there all nice and neat, kind of just waiting for me to fill in. Really excited about it. Now the last thing I have to do is my sinking funds. So there you go, move that up. As I mentioned, I use Capital One 360. I will leave a link to their sinking funds down below, their checking and savings accounts. The current balance in my sinking fund for right now, the starting balance is $874.79. So that's nice. We had some expenses for car maintenance in April that kind of ducked it down, but then obviously my $180 transfer over. I'm really excited about the way that this budget's gonna work out. I think we're all done for this week, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over and zoom you guys out, and we will say goodbye and review it all. All right, there she is. There's the budget for the month of June. It'll be halfway through the year. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it, and it does help the channel out. If you haven't yet subscribed yet to my channel, you should go ahead and click that red subscribe button. I make new videos every Monday and every Thursday. They're planner related and budget related, and occasionally some health and fitness and vlogs and all sorts of other good stuff as well. So go ahead and stick around. There's always some fun stuff, and you want it published right to your feed as it comes out, so I would hit the subscribe button. In terms of social media, you can find me over on Instagram. I think it's this way in the end slate. You can find me over on Facebook at Math Twins. It might be switched. But until next time, planner friends, have a great rest of your week, and hope your budget's as kick butt for the month of June as mine is. See you later. Bye.